Hello everyone, welcome back to another Jurassic World Dominion video, where today we are doing a review on the extended edition. If you happen to have missed my full movie review for the theatrical cut, be sure to go over and check out my video. I gave it about an 8.5, I think ever since then it's gone down to about an 8 out of 10. Either way, Jurassic World Dominion is a fan favourite where it averagely stays around the third best Jurassic movie, so straight bang in the middle. For me, it's the second best with Jurassic World on par. I feel like it absolutely connected everything from the shows, motion comics, short films, and the older movies, as well as tying in loads of websites which are canon as well. Overall, I found Jurassic World Dominion very enjoyable. But one thing that I definitely didn't like about it was how choppy it was. I think everybody can agree, it was definitely cut down and very choppy. However, the extended edition is here, and finally we get to see how Jurassic World Dominion was supposed to be looked at. This new edition adds 14 minutes of brand new content to Jurassic World Dominion, and ultimately makes it feel a lot better, a lot more smoother. So firstly, the extended edition, it started off very similar to what we saw in the theatrical cut. However, there are some new scenes in there where we have the prologue at the start. I didn't care much for it. I don't think it changes my opinion on Jurassic World Dominion at all. I prefer it as a short film instead. So the Jurassic World prologue was actually added as a short film right at the start of the movie to connect to the main part of the film. Now it actually flowed a lot nicer. We don't really get any major scene changes throughout this movie. There are probably about 3 or 4 which absolutely change everything. However, looking at straight on the first one, we have one with Owen Grady and Rain Delacourt. Now this was actually cut from the final cut of the movie for the theatrical version, and I don't know why, I really don't. It actually added a lot more context to when Rain Delacourt stole Maisie and Beta from Owen Grady and Blue, and ultimately kind of sets them to be a bad guy. In the theatrical version we just saw his face and that was it. But in this version, there's actually a longer interaction with Owen and Rain that I felt really fit very well with this portion of the movie, and honestly made that segment a lot better. There are some more scenes that were understandably cut to make the movie shorter, such as some scenes with Blue and Maisie that didn't really need to be in the main portion of the movie. However, definitely added a little bit more character to Maisie. Now, one thing that I didn't entirely like about this extended version was primarily because it still felt cut down for some reason. Especially when it gets towards the final portion of the movie, the final act, it feels as if the movie was still cut. I don't know why, but there are some scenes that just feel very choppy and didn't really flow as nicely together or intersect as nicely together, which was quite unfortunate. You know, the first section of the movie, there are loads of scenes that were cut that are now in the extended edition, and they flowed very nicely, and I feel like they actually fit very nicely into the main portion of the story as well. But when we get to the final act, there's not really much that was cut. For some reason, one of the main things that was cut from the theatrical version was right at the end when Rexy has that little flashback to what we call as Trina, the Rex from the Jurassic World Dominion prologue. I'm not too sure why that was cut, it was just milliseconds, and to be honest, it doesn't seem like it was something that should have been cut, so I don't know why it was. At the end of the day, it definitely adds a lot more story and connects to the short film a lot better. But honestly speaking, this really could have been a 3-hour plus movie, and I would definitely have sat down there and watched it. Hopefully we get a super extended version later on that is canon, because I definitely feel like there were some scenes that needed a bit more context and were cut from the final form of the movie. And when I mean final form, I mean the extended edition towards the last act of the movie. It just felt a little bit too cut up for my liking. So hopefully we get to see more of that and explain some new deleted scenes that we haven't already seen. However, the scenes that they did add into this movie were phenomenal. It really was. It's something that actually added a lot more character to some of the actors and the characters throughout the movie. It added a lot more emotion throughout the movie as well, and I felt a lot more love for these characters, especially Kayla. Kayla wasn't somebody who I thought too much about originally, and Kayla's character for me didn't really stick out too much. I mean, obviously she was a main part of the movie, and I completely respect that, and I did enjoy her character at times, but if she were to disappear, I wouldn't really miss her too much. However, with the extended version, she became someone different for some reason, and I actually liked her a lot more. I believe when I watched the extended edition, it was actually my 11th viewing of Jurassic World Dominion entirely. So it was weird to see that from the theatrical cut, I didn't really think too much about Kayla, wasn't really too impressed, wasn't really disappointed, kind of in the middle. But when I saw the theatrical version, all of a sudden, even though she didn't have many scenes, Kayla stood out a lot more, and I don't know why, but she just did. Same goes for Ramsey and Dodson. There was actually a completely deleted scene from the theatrical version, so honestly speaking, adding that scene in added a lot more context, I can tell you that for a fact. The fact that he actually had to go and find a hard drive explains why all of a sudden he went down to burn the locusts. And the fact that Ramsey found out that Dodson wanted to burn the evidence as well, it kind of connected those two characters a lot more. And when they finally meet in the burning blaze, it explains why Ramsey all of a sudden turned on Dodson. Either way, that cutscene was awesome. It's about 2.5 minutes long, added so much new context to the movie, and it was brilliant. It really, really was. But it's interesting how they edited the theatrical version to make sense, but also be very different to the extended edition, which is very different, but very, very cool. But at the end of the day, do I fancy watching the theatrical version instead of the extended edition? Long answer short, no, not at all. I much prefer the extended edition rather than the theatrical version. Theatrical version, it's only 2 hours and 27 minutes of Dominion. I much prefer a longer movie, so obviously 2 hours and 41 minutes of Jurassic World Dominion sounds so much better. Especially since it flows a lot nicer. So if you haven't had the chance yet and you haven't seen the extended edition for Jurassic World Dominion, I do entirely recommend it, as it definitely makes the movie a lot better. Not too much better, as it does feel a little bit choppy towards the last act of the movie, but I would say it's a lot more enjoyable than what we see in the theatrical version. There was loads more action, more new deaths, and entirely a lot more emotion that you feel connected to these characters. Overall, I don't think it will bump my rating of Jurassic World Dominion up too much, but it's definitely just a little bit better than Jurassic World, which I rate at 8 out of 10. So I would probably say Jurassic World Dominion, including the extended edition, is an 8.1 out of 10. Not exactly amazing when it comes to Jurassic, but overall, definitely one of the best movies in the franchise, that's for sure. And it's really nice to see that across the fan base and across the majority, it's people's second or third favourite movie from all of these 6, and 19, yes, 19 entries to screen canon for Jurassic as well. That's crazy. Now we know this did end the Jurassic saga, but it set up so much more for Jurassic, and I'm very, very excited, especially since we know at least one new series is confirmed, and they are looking into creating more movies for Jurassic after Dominion, and hopefully an announcement at JP30 next year. At the end of the day, I've really enjoyed the extended edition, and I do hope you guys do enjoy it as well. If you have seen the extended edition already, feel free to let me know in the comments below, as I do believe it was selling via Amazon and other local streaming services in, I believe, the Middle East, South Asia, Japan, Canada, Eastern Europe, South Europe. Loads of places basically got the extended edition like 2 weeks early. Crazy. If you had a VPN, you could definitely grab it. So if you have seen it, be sure to let me know what you thought of it in the comments below. But in the meantime, if you did enjoy today's video, be sure to press that like button and subscribe if you are new and you want to see more Jurassic content, as this is definitely the best place to be. But most importantly, all I ask for from you guys today is to make sure you're all staying safe out there, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye. Hello, hi, you. Did you enjoy the video? Just a little reminder to press that like button and also subscribe. I just want to thank my Patreons for this month on screen right here, as giving me that little extra support really does go a long way. But anyways, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day.